right, so let's jump right in because something pretty huge just happened in the creative world. We're talking about a global giant, Coca-Cola, making a move with AI that has, well, it's got everyone's attention. And believe me, this isn't just another tech trend. This feels different. Yep, you heard that right. Coca-Cola. We're talking about one of the most iconic, recognizable brands on the entire planet. And they just created their big holiday ad using AI. I mean, this isn't some little startup messing around in a garage. This is a Fortune 500 company putting its money, its reputation, its trust right behind AI content for the whole world to see. It's, wow, it's a statement. So that begs the question, right? If a giant like Coke can pull this off, what does that mean for, well, for everything else? For the traditional world of big budget photo shoots, massive film crews, the whole creative agency model. I mean, are we watching the end of an era for how this stuff gets made? Yeah, this is way bigger than just one cool ad. This feels like a real tipping point. You know, that moment where everything shifts. AI creative tools are going from this fun little novelty, this, hey, what if experiment, to something that feels, well, absolutely necessary if you want to stay in the game. It's what you'd call a watershed moment, you know? It's that one event that draws a line in the sand between before and after. For so long, creative AI was kind of theoretical, something people talked about. But this Coke ad, it just made it real. It signals a massive change in how creative work is going to get done, starting like right now. I mean, just think about it. In the very recent past, AI was all about experimenting, right? Playing around with these quirky little tools, showing off cool tech demos. But now, we're in a totally different world. These tools are ready for prime time. They've earned the trust of the biggest companies out there, and they're the engine behind major mainstream campaigns. That leap from then to now has happened, wow, incredibly fast. So how in the world is all this happening so fast? Well, it's all being powered by a whole new creator economy. It's this booming ecosystem of tools that are not only powerful, but surprisingly easy for people to get their hands on. I mean, you've got companies popping up like Higgsfield AI with their Recast tool that can just totally transform your old videos. Or you have Freepik, which is creating these AI-powered spaces where teams can design stuff together. And honestly, that's just scratching the surface. There's a whole new infrastructure being built out to fuel this revolution, putting these incredible powers into the hands of way more people. Okay, so this is all super interesting from like an industry insider point of view. But let's get to the real question, the important one. What does any of this actually mean for you? Because make no mistake, this shift is going to affect everyone. So let's break that down. I think we can kind of split this up into three main groups. You know, everyday folks, businesses, big and small, and of course, anyone who's curious and just wants to learn and explore what's out there. Okay, so for just the regular user, this is just incredibly empowering. Think about it. That huge wall that used to stand between a brilliant idea in your head and actually making it real, it's crumbling down. You don't need to spend thousands on software anymore or go through years of technical training to make something that looks professional. Suddenly, your imagination is the most important tool you have. Now, for businesses, the motivation here is just massive. We are talking about a potential cost savings on production of 50 to 80%. Just let that number sink in for a second. That's not a tiny little improvement. That's a complete game changer for the economics of making content. It means businesses can do so much more, so much faster, and for way, way less money. And for anyone out there who's a learner, an explorer, this opens up a whole new world of skills to master. And look, this isn't about getting replaced. It's about learning how to collaborate with these new tools. Skills like prompt engineering, which is basically the art of talking to an AI to get what you want, or AI art direction. These are becoming super valuable. The future really belongs to the people who can figure out how to blend human creativity with the raw power of AI. So all of this really brings us to the next chapter for creativity, and it's a chapter that's packed with unbelievable opportunities, but also some really big questions we need to ask. You've really got two sides to this whole debate. On one side, there's a totally valid concern that these tools are a threat to creative jobs, and maybe they'll just lead to a flood of generic, kind of soulless stuff. But on the other side, you have this incredible opportunity to open up creativity for absolutely everyone, and to invent new kinds of art we can't even dream of yet. The reality? It's probably going to be a messy mix of both. But no matter which side of that debate you land on, the signal here is crystal clear. AI creative tools are officially mainstream. This isn't a niche hobby anymore. They've left the tech demo stage and are now playing in the big leagues. When a brand like Coke gets on board, you know we've crossed a major line, from let's see what this does to okay, this is how it's done now. So, if you're looking at the future, this is where all the momentum is. We should absolutely expect to see just explosive growth, both in the AI tools themselves and in a whole new breed of creative agencies that are built around them. This is the direction the entire creative industry is moving. And all of that leaves us with one last, and maybe the most important question to think about. As more and more of these big campaigns are made by algorithms, what happens to the whole idea of authentic brand storytelling? I mean, can a story really truly be authentic if the one telling it isn't human? That's the big question we're all going to have to wrestle with as we step into this wild new creative era.